Woo-hoos. Cope Cleveland here. Hey, so I had a thing I need to talk about. Alright. Kind of guessed that by the title. Truck driver going to hit you right in the feels. So I'm about to hit you right in the feels. Little update first. Foremost, we are in Pennsylvania, headed to Michigan to go pick up our next load. It's been a crazy week, guys. A crazy week, I tell you. It's been kind of loopy. So, kind of a recap. I ended up running from Michigan down to, where did I go? Ran from Michigan, skimmed up the top of New York there along, what is that, 83, 95, 94, whatever it is, whatever highway that is. Ran up there, ran up to Maine, delivered up in Maine, and I ended up being a day late. Well, almost a day late. I was like 6 hours late because they gave me an open appointment. So when they give you an open appointment, it's kind of like wait for an appointment to be sent to you. If there's not, then it's just delivered that day. So apparently they just didn't send me somebody didn't send me the appointment. It never got sent over to my Qualcomm, and they verified it on their end that it never got sent over to me. So everything was figured out, though. We got ourselves a new appointment time, and we delivered on time. Technically late, but delivered at the new appointment time. And then took that load, the rest of that load, down to Connecticut, and we delivered off there. Everything was kosher there and all Gucci. And then I got sent like 5 or 6 different pre-plans. I was all jumbled up and confused earlier today. I was supposed to pick up a load that went out of Souderton in Pennsylvania and ran up to Lancaster, and then from there I was going to go grab another load out of Michigan and run that over to Virginia. Go down to Souderton. Yeah, no, Michigan to Virginia, and then Virginia back to Souderton, Souderton up to Michigan, and then Michigan over to Wisconsin. But the pre-plans didn't intermingle well enough to be a fit plan for all of them to fit together in a due timely fashion. So I was like, what? So after reviewing everything, I ended up calling my dispatcher up and I said, hey buddy, what the heck is going on here? He's like, what do you mean? I was like, I got about 4 or 5 different pre-plans here. They don't seem to make too much sense. I said, I did the route plannings and everything, and the time schedules aren't fitting together properly where I can do them. He's like, let me take a look at what you got here. And so the way that it works at our company is my dispatcher doesn't always send me the load. There's another department in our pre-planning, or our planning department. Sometimes they will send the loads just straight directly to me, but another portion of it gets sent over to my dispatcher as well for him to kind of review it. So before he even had a chance to review anything, I was already looking at the messages as they were coming through. That doesn't happen. It's a rarity that happens, that it slips by them or anything. And, if I catch it like I caught it, it doesn't matter. 9 times out of 10, they'll actually catch it. Or it'll just be in the case of kind of what happened to me was it got sent to me, and the other load that I was on got canceled, or time schedules removed for something, and blah, blah, blah. And it just kind of got jumbled up in a mess. It happens. Welcome to the life of truck driving. It happens. We're humans. We make human errors. You can't be mad at it. So, regardless, I was an hour out from Souderton anyways. But they told me, they're like, hey, we're just going to go ahead and delete everything that you had in your Qualcomm for anything of the past loads. He's like, I'm going to send you your new load. Here's your load number. Follow that load number in your fuel solution. I said, all right, sounds good to me. Everything's cleared up. Ready to rock and roll. Only took about 5 minutes of talking on the phone to figure everything out. No worries. So a lot of people would actually get very upset at something like that in truck driving, which I've come to find out a lot of truck drivers complain about a lot of things that they really shouldn't complain about. I call it first world problems. Privileged is what I call it. But see, if I would have complained about it, I wouldn't be liked very well. And every day I didn't feel a need to complain about anything, so you handle it like a professional, like you are. So kind of what I wanted to talk about is we ended up starting our trip probably a couple hours ago, but I came and stopped here at the TA because this is my fuel stop, and I fueled up, got me something to eat, and we're going to continue our journey. don't have to pick up a load for a couple of days, so it's just going to be kind of a low, slow, kind of shag it journey on the way there. It doesn't pick up until like almost midnight, 11 o'clock on the 8th, and right now it is the morning of the 6th. It's like 3:30 in the morning, so I'm just going to kind of drag butt there, get some good fuel mileage on the way there, and do a 10-hour break whenever we get there, pick up our load. Who knows, maybe it'll be ready a little bit early. Sometimes my loads are ready just a little bit early, and I always like to get there about 15 hours beforehand, so that way if it is ready early, I can go ahead and snag it and get on down the road just a little bit before I got to take a 10. But I pulled up here to the TA, and I start getting fuel, and I noticed that this gentleman was walking up to my truck. And now I don't judge anybody. I'm not going to be one to judge somebody, because I've been judged before in my life, and I don't like how it feels. And I don't like people judging. Like when I observe somebody judging somebody for some reason, and you can see the doubt and the hurt and the pain on the other person's face that is getting judged, it's just not very nice, and it's not my style. So I'm sitting here fueling up my truck, and he's walking up to me. He's got a jacket on. It's kind of a thinner, it's more of a windbreaker than anything. He's a pair of jeans and some shoes, and look fairly decent. He's walking up to me, and I'm a Marine, so I'm gonna look somebody over as they're walking up to me. I'm looking for weapons or any sort of a threat or anything of the case of the sort. And I don't see anything in this guy. So he walks up to me and he says, "Hey, excuse me, sir, I'm sorry to bother you, but do you have any spare money that you might be able to spare?" I immediately I said, "I might have a couple bucks, but do you mind if I ask you why?" And I said, "I don't want to be judgmental or anything. Don't take this as being judgmental. I'm just curious as to why." I was like, somebody that loans somebody out money, 9 times out of 10 wouldn't care what somebody in the need would want the money for. They would just give it to them. But so there's some other people like me who would kind of wonder, what are your plans to do with that money? Are you going to buy alcohol with it? Are you going to buy drugs with it? Do you need food? Do you need water? I'm just curious as to the case. It's like, I don't need to know everything about it. I'm just curious. He's like, "No, I'm hungry. I just want to get a couple of dollars to go in there and buy myself maybe a sandwich and a bottle of water." And so I said, "Okay. I'm fueling up my truck right now. If you give me a minute, if you want to, you can go ahead and wait inside there. I'll come inside." Now, he said, yeah, okay, that's fine." And so he walks away and walks into the store. I watched him walk into the store, and I'm finished fueling up my truck. I was only getting about 50 gallons. I finished fueling up my truck. I put some DEF in my truck, and then, he doesn't know me from anything. He has no idea who I am. I got no idea who he is. For all he knew, I could have just sent him over away from me, and that way I had a bigger time to hop in my truck and drive away before he had a chance to catch up with me and say anything, which was probably what was going through his mind. So if you watched one of my first videos, I believe it was like the second or third video, you'd known that I myself went through quite a hard time back about a year ago. Just over a year ago, I was going through a time where I didn't think I was going to come back from. It was just depressive and down, and I was homeless, and I had nothing, really. I had my pickup truck, and that's because at the time that everything shot downhill, I had my truck, and that was it. That's all I had. I had pretty much 2 sets of clothes and my pickup truck, and somebody decided it was a good idea to reach out to me and help me, and I am where I am today and going where I'm going today because of somebody helping me out. So the kind of the point here is, we went inside and I bought him some things. I bought him some hygiene products and whatnot, and everything got emotional with him, and I figured it would, But the man's got himself a shower right now, and he's got a little bit of food in his belly, and he's got a couple dollars in change. I had a $5 bill on me. Normally I don't carry cash, but I had a $5 bill on me, and I let him get the $5 bill off of me. So really the point of it is, like, I don't smoke, but I carry lighters with me during the winter time. And actually I carry lighters with me all the time. I've always got a lighter in my bug out bag, and I've always just got an extra one in case one fails. So this one, I was outside of my generator the other day. This one, I was working on the generator with some wires and trying to get some things thawed out the other day on the generator, and I left this one in the little tray at the generator. So it's been outside for a couple of days in the cold, all lonely, you know, helpless, kind of like this feller here who walked up to me. And the only reason I remembered this lighter is because my generator kicked on whenever I walked up to my truck, and I was like, oh man, I forgot about my lighter. So I was like, I hope it doesn't fall in. It hasn't fallen into the engine itself of the generator. So I went back there and I popped the cover off real quick, and I got my lighter out. It was there in the tray. And I got this other one that's been in my truck for, I don't know, a couple months. When I bought it, it's been there in the truck. This lighter lit up. This lighter was having a hard time lighting up, right? This lighter lit up on the first time. Now this one's having a hard time getting its flame going. Don't be so quick to judge somebody. Your flame and your fire just might be enough to help somebody out to get theirs going. Don't be so quick to judge somebody, guys. That's what I'm saying. It's today's economy and today's world's a hard place to live. It really is, especially for us younger guys. You know, it's a hard style out here. You gotta learn real quick if you want to get somewhere in life. You gotta learn at a young age these days to kind of get going. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like the whole video. The reason of this video. It's just, you know, help somebody out. If you see somebody in need, man, be weary about your own safety, yes. But if you can, help somebody out, you know. I didn't see any physical threats, you know, during that situation. I didn't see any reason for me not to help the guy out, you know. So behoove yourself and kind of do the right thing, you know. I could have been selfish and drove off, came and found me a parking spot, or I didn't need to take a 30-minute break or anything, but I just decided to come back here and park real quick and make a video before it left my mind. You know, another thing is being a Marine and transitioning back to being a civilian was like crazy, you know. It's like right out of high school, from being a teenager right into high school, the very first thing that you do is learn how to be a man and go to war, and you grow up real quick, you know. So that's another thing. And then, you know, transitioning back to being a civilian is kind of like, oh, things are different, you know. And then getting a real job in the civilian world, it's all crazy, you know. So I understand, and have been the one to go through some challenging life events. You know, it's I understand even more. So looks like everybody's getting up and getting ready to pull on out of here, get on down the road. I'm gonna get on down the road myself here. I got a little drive to make, but I'm gonna keep her kosher. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to make a little video about that and whatnot, and kind of just remind people, you know, if you may have forgotten, we all are humans, okay? Not everybody's great, not everybody's worth it, I guess you could say, you know. People are always gonna take and never appreciate and never give back or anything, you know, but some of us do. Like me, for example, some of us do. I'm on my way to starting up my own company here within the next 5 to 10 years. That's my goal. And I wouldn't be there without the help of others, you know, either whether it was mental help, talking to me, or being a friend. Nobody babied me, you know. Nobody gave me tons of cash or anything to pick back up myself. I worked for it myself. But to have somebody there, at least just one person care, it was something that I didn't expect, and I didn't think that would help, but it did. You know, now everybody's different, okay? Everybody's different, but you know, I'm not here to brag about what I did or say what I did to make myself look good or anything like that. I don't care how it makes me look. Oh, boo-hoo, I did a good deed. So whatever. I'm not trying to get famous off doing a good deed, okay? I just kind of want to instill on others, you know, it's okay to help, and you're not doing it for yourself to make yourself feel better. I don't feel any better than I did an hour and a half ago, you know. The man's not going to become rich just off of me getting him a sandwich and a shower, you know. It could change his life. It could change his life drastically for the better. Who knows? But I know out here in the trucking world, it's a hard life, you know. As us truck drivers, we're a one community. And a lot of people don't know that there's better for them out there in the trucking industry. They don't know, you know. Like me, I didn't know a thing about the company I want to go to until about 6 months ago, you know, and I've been driving for 3 years. I had no idea. I had no idea you can make $14,000 to $16,000 to the truck gross in a month as an owner-operator. I had no clue, you know. And then there's other drivers out there with their own authority and everything who are making more, you know, per month. Gross-wise, before payments. So it's crazy. You just gotta learn, you know. But I took the time and I just did all my research and everything and figured it all out. That's all everybody's got to do. But that's where big companies make their money at, you know. So I just wanted to make that video there, and well, this video here, kind of say something, you know. Just kind of hit me right in the feels, you know, thinking about it. I hope he doesn't use that $5 to buy anything illegal or alcohol, drown his sorrows for $5. Hopefully he uses it to grab himself a couple bottles of water or something, candy bar. But, you know, anything. I don't know what's going on in his life. I have no idea. Not a clue. It could be anything. You know, his old lady could have kicked him out. He'll be back home in a couple of days. They'll fix everything up. He could have had a terrible break at work. He could be a murderer out on the loose. For all I know. Got no idea. I just saw somebody who needed some help. He looked sincere, sounded sincere. And the gist of it. So I helped him out. Oh well. You want to be mad at me for it? Be mad at me for it. I don't care. But without further ado, I've been kind of thinking here. You guys leave me some advice down in the comments. I don't know what kind of truck I should buy. As you guys know from my previous videos, or even if you don't know, if this is the first video you've watched, hi, how you doing? My name's Corporal Cleveland, or you can call me Al, either one. Al's probably easier. But I'm going to be buying a truck here in March, and I don't know what truck I should get. I don't want a Freightliner. I don't want a Freightliner. I don't like the wide cab. I just don't like it, you know. The Kenworth T680, I'm okay with the Kenworth T680. It's not ideal, you know. It's still got a wide cab, but it's not as wide. It's that's what I drive currently, is a T680 for the company I'm at. But the reason I like the T680 is because most of them come with PACCAR engines, and I like PACCAR. PACCAR's pretty good. PACCAR's kind of right now, actually, PACCAR's at the top of the chain because they have less shop time. They have less breakdowns. You know, now obviously there's going to be all of those guys who are getting the broke trucks and the bad motors and stuff, and they got to go into the shop and lose money because they're in the shop. You know, it's going to happen. You know, it's mechanics. It's going to happen. It could happen to me. Let's hope not, but it could. You know, we got to prepare ourselves for that. So I do like the W900s, but you can't find one. I only want to spend about maybe 50 grand, 60 grand on a truck, you know, just the first truck to start out. Get a good, decent one, not the lowest of the low, but get a good, decent one. So spend a little bit extra on a nice, decent truck. I don't want a brand new one because I'm going to be living in it. If I get a brand new one, I'm going to be living in the dang thing, and I don't want that yet. I'm not ready to commit that high yet. I've thought about Peterbilt 389 because it's kind of aerodynamic. I found a couple of 389s for roughly between 40 and 55,000. They looked to be good. You know, I haven't personally in person checked out anything. I've only seen pictures and descriptions, you know, on truck paper and dealer websites and stuff like that. I've even looked into Lone Mountain, LRM leasing, but I want somewhere that's gonna report to the credit. So I'm wanting to finance. So I've even looked into the International ProStars, because I had an International ProStar with my very first truck I bought. Well, I leased it. Was an International ProStars, a 2013. It did have the max force motor in it, but I was always getting about 6.5 miles to a gallon. So I like the International ProStars, even though it's got kind of a wide cab. It's not wider than the T680s, dimension-wise, but I like the mid-roof. I like the Peterbilt 389, the 387, the 386, the International ProStar, the Kenworth T680. That's pretty much it. I won't drive a Volvo and I won't drive a Freightliner. I would drive an older Freightliner, but it's kind of since been out of the question because I'm trying to get a truck with 500,000 miles or less, so I still got some warranty coverage, and you know, it's not a million-mile truck. It even scares me to get a truck that's got 1 million miles on it, or even 700,000 miles on it, you know, that's had an engine rebuild or an overhaul. That even worries me, you know. Unless every part of that can be warranted, then I don't want it, you know. So I know I shouldn't be picky like I am, but I am. You gotta be businessman, you gotta be picky. I know I'm gonna get what I spend, get what I pay for, so that's why I'm not wanting to spend on brand new, but you know, not get the junkiest thing either. So let me know, drop a comment down below and let me know what you guys think. Like I said before, I'll reply to everybody's comments, and I might just interact with you on a video. If I don't reply to your comment, I'll reply to your comment here on the video. Go ahead and give me a like, and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so that way you can know whenever I upload a video. You can be first to get notified. Go ahead and watch me before anybody else. Now, I don't do Patreon or anything of that sort. I'm not asking for any money or anything like that. I don't get paid by YouTube or anything, so I don't care. But the likes and whatnot help my channel out as to get videos out there. So it tells YouTube, like, hey, people like this guy's videos. Let's put his videos out there. More people will watch. I just want to gain it. My kind of goal is just to gain a little community, you know. of truck drivers and everybody else, people, you know, so whatever. Oh, this guy's got a headlight out. You didn't do a pre-trip. Or you just don't care, whichever. We're at a TA. Light bulb costs $12. Nope, probably didn't do a pre-trip. Maybe he did. Oh well, hopefully he doesn't get a ticket. But, anywho, yeah, so, like I said, I like the Peterbilt 386s the most because they're aerodynamic and they got the small cab like I like. I like the 389s and the 387s, and I like the W900s a lot. But I don't like the idea of getting 5.5 miles a gallon. And yes, I'd turn a Freightliner down over one of those trucks. I just don't like Freightliners. I think they're junk trucks. Every Freightliner I've ever driven has had numerous problems. I just don't like Detroit motors. And I don't see a lot of Freightliners that come with Cummins. And I like Cummins, but then again, I don't. You know, I've grown, PACCAR has grown on me. I want a PACCAR motor. And Kenworth and Peterbilt are the only ones that do PACCAR. Mostly. I've even looked at, you know, TMC's, what was that, 579, I believe, or whatever. Those are nice too, but still, I just don't like the wide cab. We'll find out one. We got until March to keep saving up money. I'm not gonna purchase anything until March anyhow. So that's it. I'm about to get back on the road here, and you guys have a safe and wonderful Wednesday or Thursday, whenever this video comes out to you guys. I don't know. Just have a safe and wonderful day, and you have a happy holidays.